Hello, hello everybody. I will be with you in just a moment. Almost there. Okay. There we go. Okay. Hello, hello, and happy Tuesday, everybody. I am pretty proud to be with you here today. Oops, sorry about that. Let me fix that. I wanted to show you my beautiful shirt that we created together last night. It came out so cute. It was nice and dry when I got up in the morning, and I was able to heat set it, as I said, 4 minutes with a medium iron on each side, 4 minutes. And you want to use a piece of parchment paper or at least a piece of white computer paper in between your ink and your iron to make sure that the ink doesn't flake up and get right inside of your iron. It does happen, it really does. So trust me on that one. So I hope you're doing well today. What's new, Cindy? Nice to see you tonight. So we're going to be working on a little bit of an update. It's time to say bye-bye to my Santa Claus and put something a little bit more seasonal on it. So trying to get all my angles well here, and I'll show you what I've got going on. So one of the things I wanted to do with you tonight was actually show you, if you haven't seen it before, how to clean your transfers in water. And I also want to show you how to wash off your chalkboards in case you haven't done it before. So without further ado, I'm going to switch my cameras around a little bit so that you can see what's on my table as well as me. So here we go. The magic of technology, right? All right, so while you guys are watching tonight, be sure to sprinkle my video. That means S-H-A-R-E, so that others can see what Chalkboard is all about too. So thank you for doing that for me. So you can see I've got my beautiful making a list and checking it twice Santa, and he is so darling and adorable. But I have used this chalkboard I can't tell you how many times, and tonight I'm going to change it and show you how easy it is for you to change out your chalkboards, or actually almost any non-porous surface. You'll do the same thing. So the first thing you want to do is get some water. I usually have this on my table while I'm working, and it is filled with distilled water. However, for cleaning your chalkboard, you can use plain old tap water. Super easy. You're just going to give this a spray. If you don't have a spray bottle, just get it wet with some paper towels, squeeze some water on there, and just let it sit for a second or two while it softens the chalk. So, hello Annie Giuliano, welcome, welcome. So I've got all of my board wet. I'm just going to go in there with my fingers and rub it in a little bit. Just helps to soften up your chalk. As you can see, this is really, really wet, and you can see that it's not running at all. You really have to kind of purpose to take the chalk off. I can't guarantee this will work for you, but I have a friend who we actually chucked an old-fashioned milk can together, and we never sealed it, and she left it in her driveway outside of her garage, and it was exposed to lots of elements for a couple of years, and it stayed beautiful. It didn't even run. It happens sometimes, but not always. Hi Leslie. But I always do recommend, if you're going to have something outdoors where it can be, or someplace where it can get wet, to seal it. And I usually use a spray like a Krylon or a Rust-Oleum matte spray finish. Nice light coats. You don't want to saturate it if you don't have to. I can see I'm getting a little bit of running here, and it's actually red, so it's coming from another place where I rub my fingers on it. But I've got it all nice and wet, and it should be just about ready for us to start scraping off this cute design. Bye, Santa! Okay, so what I'm using is a Chalkboard scraping tool. This is the coolest thing ever. It just really helps get your paste off in a nice, neat pile. You can see I'm not putting a lot of effort into this, just kind of scraping it across the top. It is going to leave some, most likely it's going to leave something called ghosting behind. And what ghosting is, it's just sort of a shadow of what it was, and we can also clean that off pretty easily too. So I'm going to work around the Santa and go to the glitter area last, because that is the kind of paste that needs a little bit of longer saturation time. So you can see how easy this is. I'm not working up a sweat or anything, just kind of scraping as I go. Do you guys have one of these tools yet? I have a couple of people that I see regularly, and this is like one of the best things ever. See how easy that's coming off? You kind of end up with a little pile of wet chalk dust when you're all done. And yep, alrighty, we're gonna go for that beard. Let's go right down the center. And I'm pretty sure that is gonna leave a little bit of ghosting behind, but I'm gonna show you how to clean it off nice and easy. So happy Tuesday, everybody. I had so much fun with you last night. I enjoyed showing off my new studio area here and making my cute t-shirt. I showed this just a second ago. I got my Hugs and Kisses shirt on, and my husband didn't see me after I did it, and when he saw me wearing it tonight, he's like, "You want Hugs and Kisses?" I said, "Sure," and help with the dishes. So, good old Steve. All right, so I've got this kind of scraped into a nice little pile, and you can see that Santa is still on there, but I'm going to show you how easily it comes off. You just use a squeegee. This is a game changer, Cindy. It's a game changer. I mean, you can do it with just the board eraser if you want to. A lot more work. I'm lazy. I admit it. I'm going to get as much of that off as I can, but I can still see there's a ghost of a Santa, and I can still see a little bit of, it's like shadowing. And you've probably seen this if you've washed a chalkboard off before. So what Cindy's talking about is she uses a board eraser. You just use a squeegee. Oh, you use a squeegee to get it off? Like one of these? Huh. If you do, I'm surprised it works because they're not very stiff. Okay, so I'm going to spray it again just a little bit. Just needs to be damp. And I'm going to go in with something called a board eraser. This board eraser has been used and used and used. I use them to death until they're little bitty pieces. And what you're going to do is just go over the entire surface again and just rub it, and it should take all of that ghosting off. These are kind of like magic erasers, but there are no chemicals involved, so there is no harm to your skin, no harm to your board, no harm to your transfers. You can also, not only can you use these to clean your chalkboard surfaces, but you can also use them to clean your transfers too. And I'm going to show you, we're going to do that in just a few minutes. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to dry it up with my paper towel a little bit. This feels so much better having all this room. I can't even tell you. All right, so it looks like Santa has left the building. It looks great. All right, so we'll set this to the side for a second to dry a little more, and I'm going to show you the transfer that we're using tonight. This is called February 14th. Is another cute little Valentine transfer. I can see that my camera's super wonky crooked here. I'm going the wrong way. That's because I have lines on my tablecloth, so it makes it look even wonkier. Oh well. There we go. That's better. So I love this one because you can use it just as it is, which is what we're going to do tonight. But you can also use just parts of it. So you can use Valentine's Day, or you can just use Hugs and Kisses. If you wanted to do a Hugs and Kisses shirt for a baby or a small child, and this one is too big, use those words right there and do the same kind of thing. We've got love, we've got a little heart that can be used by itself. We've got X's and O's, be mine, sweetheart, adore, and February 14th, of course. So one of the things that I like to do is to look at the words that we have and try to figure out other words that you can make with them. Sort of like, I don't know, is it Scrabble? So what other words can you make with the word Valentine? I don't know. I should have thought of this sooner, but I'm sure there are lots of them. I remember we did the harvest signs together. I can make the word Easter with that harvest sign, so you can bet that I'm going to this year. All right, so if you think of any while we're working, let me know. Put them in the comments. So let's unwrap this one. I always save the envelopes, the plastic envelopes that they come in, because after you've used your transfers, you can wash them and dry them and keep them inside of here. Well, they'll stay dry and they won't get damaged. And they're pretty easy to store. They've got a little hole on the top so that you can even hang them up. All right, so let's find my marker. I have my markers are even on my table. You guys, you know me, I'm always losing these things. So I'm just gonna write on the back, February 14th. And of course my initials on the back and front. Okay. All right, this is a brand new transfer. And because I haven't used it before and I'm using it on my chalkboard, which is a nice smooth surface, I want to be sure that this is not too sticky. You don't want it to stick too tightly to your surface, or it could be hard to get off. So I'm just going to remove it from the carrier sheet. Put that aside also. And give it a feel. This is not super sticky. As a matter of fact, it is just the way I like to use it on my chalkboards, so I'm not even going to fuzz it at all. If it were sticky, I would stick it to a terry cloth towel like this one, attach it on, pull it off, stick it on, pull it off, just to put a little bit of lint on the back of the sticky transfer. It softens the adhesive some. All right, so I'm going to be using a Sylvie chalkboard tonight, and the first thing you want to do is check to make sure that the hanger is on the right end of the chalkboard. How many times have I done them upside down on the wrong side with the hanger on the wrong side? A few times. I will admit it. Let's see if I can get this all in your view. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to attach this one on here, and I'm just going to center it. I was thinking earlier that if you wanted to, you could even move this over to the right or the left side and put a ribbon and a bow on that if you wanted to. Should have thought of that sooner. I just don't quite have the right ribbon available tonight. So I'm just going to pop it into the center and keep it simple. Okay, that appears to be pretty straight. So what I'm going to do, I mean, you can certainly go over this with your hand and make sure that you have a nice tight seal. Or you can take one of our squeegees and just kind of rub it out, make sure that everything's nice and tight. You don't want any bumps, bubbles, folds in your transfer, or you could have a bleed. So bleeds aren't the worst things that could happen. They're usually pretty fixable. But if you can avoid it, it's a good thing. Okay, when you have a bubble in there, sometimes you'll hear it like snap, crackle, and pop. So tonight I am planning to use Scarlet and Peony and bright white chalk paste. I think all three of these look real pretty and Valentine-y together. And I haven't stirred them up yet, so I think I'm going to go right into doing that. This one I don't think I've used since we were doing Christmas projects, so I'm going to give that one a good stir. The stir sticks that I use are actually makeup applicators from, I think I got them on Amazon. They actually are a little bit stiffer than the Chalk Couture ones, but that Chalk Couture has them as well. But I'm just going to use these. I have a whole bunch of them. I got them before we even had stir sticks. So this red is a little thicker than I normally like it. I'm going to pull it up close so you can see. It's just a little bit thick. You want this to be about the consistency of cake batter or sour cream. So to thin it out, you're going to take that little bit of water. You can use drops or you can use a spray bottle like this one. And I recommend that you use distilled water. Using tap water is what I used to do. However, there was a change in our water supply, and all of a sudden I was getting lots and lots of jars of moldy paste. So I have switched to distilled, and it's working just fine. No more moldy, stinky chalk paste. So give that a good stir. You want it to be nice and creamy as you can get it. If you have a few lumps in it, I don't worry about that too much. Usually you can just scoop them off when you're working on your project. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. A little bit wetter. And that looks nice. So tonight we're going to be using the paste and pull method. I think you guys have seen that before, but it's one that I use all the time. Oops, I'm shaking my whole table, aren't I? Let me move away a little. That looks great. Let's grab the white one. Ooh, getting a little low there. I can already tell this one's a little bit thick too. So I'm gonna add some water. And again, we'll stir that up till it's creamy and dreamy. So you guys, I don't know if you know this, but we have a new catalog coming out very soon. Lots of our transfers are being discontinued, some of our surfaces too. And that is part of the reason for so many outages on my website. This one, however, this Valentine transfer is available, and I have, I don't know, 1 or 2 of them in my shop too if you're interested. But you can order it on my website as well. But we have lots and lots of things that are leaving our product line soon. So if you're seeing something that you've had your eye on for a while and you think you might want to grab it before it's gone, you probably want to do that ASAP. You can even message me and I can probably tell you if it's going to be around for a while longer or not. That looks pretty good. One more. I used this one just yesterday too, I think. This one looks nice. That one doesn't even need anything. Okay, let's put a little bit of chalk dust on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between the red and the pink and the white throughout this whole thing. It's kind of like a subway art piece. And I'm going to take 3 mini squeegees, 1 for each color, and that should be about all I need as far as my tools go. So starting right up at the top, I'm going to do the word Valentine's Day with my chalk paste. So this is a creamy form of chalk that goes on wet, dries hard in a matter of minutes, but again, it is water soluble. You saw me just wash off that Santa Claus. So I'm going to scoop some of that paste on my squeegee and just spread it over the open area where the screen is. So the part that you can tell has a screen in it shows black through it on the chalkboard here. So I'm going to put a nice light thin coat on it. You want to work pretty quickly because our chalk paste dries really fast. And we're going to pull this transfer up and remove it. That'll pull it off of the screen so that it doesn't dry and just attach itself. I can't talk tonight. Attach itself to the screen. So I've got all the area covered that I wanted, and I'm going over it and I'm scooping up all of the excess chalk and putting it right back in the jar. Okay. And then I'm just going to put that aside, and then what we're going to do is we're going to lift the transfer till just past the words we just chalked. So I started picking it up from the corner, but as soon as you can grab it from more in the center, that's the best place to go with it. There we go. Looks pretty cute, huh? Just gonna let that hang out for 1 second. So what's everybody up to today? Anything fun? Nobody wants to talk tonight. Come on now. Okay, I'm gonna let that fall back nice and gently. I'm not gonna put any pressure on it. But what I am going to do is go back into where Hugs and Kisses is and make sure that those areas are down nice and tight again. Just kind of smoothing it with my squeegee. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with the white and the Hugs and Kisses, and then we'll do pink for love. Love, love, love. So here we go with the white, and again I'm just going to cover this area. I'm going to be a little careful here because we're kind of close to that A. And cover the whole area. If you are new at chalking, I recommend that you use more paste than you think you need because again all of that excess paste gets scooped right off and put back into the jar, so you don't have to worry about wasting. And I want to be sure that you can get everything covered before it's dry. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to go back in. That's all covered, and scoop the rest off back into the jar. If you're just popping in, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're from if you're a first-time visitor. There's our white. Go in with the pink. Peony. This is called It depends where you live. People call this peony or they call it peony. the flower. I guess I thought they were called peony, but I have friends that call it peony. Potato, potato, right? Okay, that's covered. I'm going to scoop the extra off as much as I can. All right, that is good. And again, we're going to pull that back. Pasting and pulling. Works like a charm. So far so good, huh? Pretty cute. All right, so I've got X's and O's and be mine on the next line. Trying to be careful about how I space this. So I think I'll do X's and O's in pink and be mine in red. Okay, again, I'm letting that drop really lightly. And put a little bit of pressure on X's and O's and be mine again, so we're not getting any areas that aren't stuck nice and tight. You ordered this one too? Oh my gosh. You got some good ones because a lot of them sold out so quickly. So I said I was going to do red and then white, right? Is that what I said? Or did I say pink and white? Ah, oh, now I'm getting confused. Pink and red. We'll do that. That'll work. Okay, go back in with that pink. Yeah, that'll look good. Can't think and talk at the same time, you know. Okay, that had a little tiny speck of pink red in it. I don't know how that happened, but it's okay. X's and O's in pink. And scooping. And then, oops, where's the lid? There it is. And then I'm going to go with the red again. Yeah, I do have a couple of these, one or two of these in my shop. I'd have to check if anyone's interested. I know I have at least one. I could see if you have like a Valentine wreath on your door using like small wooden strips of these to go across it for a little banner. Wouldn't that look cute? Okay, those are good. And we'll peel it back again. Love it. Me, you want one, Leslie? You can for sure put your name on one if you'd like it. Okay, and let's see. Sweetheart and Adore is next. So I think I'll go with the white here and the pink there. Confusing when you use so many colors, but you mean you could do this all in one color and it would look really cute too. Piece of chalk dust. All right. Leslie, do you have your buddy with you tonight? I haven't seen him in a while. I guess I would see him more when I was live in the morning though. Okay, you got it. I'll have it ready for you when I see you next Monday. Unless you need it sooner, let me know. Okay, there goes the excess of sweet. That looks good. And then let's get the pink. I try to keep my little squeegees near the lids, and then I can't find them. It feels so much better to have all this room though, I gotta say. Oh my gosh. Makes me happy. Okay. Monday it is. All right. We are almost at the bottom of our design here. The stickiness is absolutely perfect on this transfer. It's crazy. Couldn't be any better. Now, on the bottom, all I have is February and 14th. And really, the next color I should do is red. So do you think I should do February and 14th in red, or just February in red and then a different color for 14th? Kind of feels more cohesive if it's all the same color, right? Okay, I'm letting that drop again, nice and easy. And we'll go down to the February 14th area. This is a super quick project, isn't it? And the red. As I said, I'm using Scarlet. You could use any color red that you have, though. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. This would also be really pretty if you use the colors like from the conversation hearts, like we did yesterday. We did one in light blue, we did one in pink. You could do yellows, lavenders, blues, green, any of those kinds of conversation heart colors I think would look cute too. Okay, that was the last bit. So don't go away after I'm done with this, because if you haven't ever seen Chalkboard before, I'm going to show you how you can clean your transfers. Ta-da! It's really cute. So cute. Both in red. All red. Good. Good thing I didn't check. No, I'm kidding. It looks great. I'm glad that we did it this way. I'm going to dry it just a little bit. One of the things that you will notice when you're working with our chalk paste is that when it dries, it's definitely brighter than when it's wet. So I can see that this red looks a little bit dark on the bottom here, but it's much brighter up there, and that's why. It is super cute, huh? How easy was that? Love it. All right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put this away and I'm going to show you how to clean your transfers. Just put this back here for now. I have to get a few more things on the wall behind me. I'm just going to close up my jars. You want to keep your jars closed as much as you can, because the more air that they're exposed to, that can cause your chalk paste to harden. And sometimes it's kind of difficult to get them to soften up again. Other times it's really easy. You just add water and it's fine. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, these are done. I have so much more room. Ah, my heart is happy. Okay, so I got a pan full of nice warm water here. And normally I do this in my sink, but I used to do it in pans when I was teaching classes and there wasn't enough room in one sink. So this is what you're going to do to clean your transfers. The first thing you want to remember is do not let your transfers soak too long. The adhesive is water soluble, so it will take the stickiness away if you leave it in the water too long. If you don't have time to clean it right after you use it, it's not a big deal, but it is a lot easier to clean if you do it right away. So I'm just going to pop that down into the water for a second. And using my board eraser, which has jumped somewhere else, this one here, I'm just going to very gently rub the transfer clean. Nice and easy. Try not to stretch the transfer. That will definitely damage it. So I'm just kind of rubbing that chalk paste off. Shouldn't be too much effort, especially if you've done this right away. I'm going to go the other way. Get to this end. It's a lot easier to see if you're doing this in your sink under running water, but that looks pretty good. So after I do the front, I got a big spot right here to grab. Sometimes it looks like it's stuck in the screen, and it might be. But just flip it over, and then with on the back side, as gentle as you possibly can, just kind of wipe it clean. Now this would probably come out cleaner quicker if I was using running water, but you don't want to go in the upstairs with me. But look how nice that came out. Looks pretty good. I'm going to bring a towel over and lay it down on top of that, and I'll show you how to dry it fast too. Okay, this is just a dish towel from my kitchen. And I'm going to lay that on here. If you want to dry it quickly, this is how you do it. Just lay that down on your towel and take some paper towels and lightly brush it. I always tell people, pretend it's like a butterfly. Very, very gentle, light touch, especially on the sticky side. So I have a little staining on my transfer, and that is normal. You can see the red right here. Some colors like red and black, dark navy blue, highly pigmented colors do stain, and it's okay. It will not affect the way that your transfer works, so fear not. So if you need to use them quickly, you can either brush them dry nice and gentle like I'm doing here, or if you're not in a hurry, just put them sticky side up and just let them air dry. And then when they're dry, put them right back on the carrier sheet. Ta-da! Super easy. All right, well, that wasn't the most beautiful part of my show tonight, but it is done and it is clean and ready to go again whenever we're ready. Just gonna pop this down here again so you can see it. It looks super cute, you guys. Love it. You can absolutely see using this on a couple other things. Maybe we'll have time to do that another day. But that is what I have for you tonight. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope you shared. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that word. Hope you sprinkled my video so that others can see how much fun we have and how easy this is. Really, anybody can do it. I have put a link to the materials that I used in the description of this video. And there's also a link for the starter or hobby kit option. If you are thinking about doing this because you'd like to make a little bit of extra money, or you just want to get your stuff at wholesale, check on that link and let me know if you have any questions, and we can absolutely help you get started as a hobbyist or as a business person. So that is all for tonight. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.